Welcome back to Serenity Valley, guys. This episode is going to be a little weird because I had some issues recording the original episode 16. So this is second take. Some of the stuff that I had already done, I had already saved on, so we can't really go back and redo that. So we're just going to kind of do a kind of a highlight reel. There's a couple things I really wanted to show you on episode 16 that we lost. So we're just going to try to get caught up with what's going on. So this is our power food machine, and I don't think I really showed this off too much actually running. So we've got silage, straw, and grass or hay in here, and then we go around here to our information screen, and we can see that this particular machine will take 55,000 liters of silage. It will take 55,000 liters of grass or hay, and will take 40,000 liters of straw, and that combination will make 150,000 liters of total mixed rations or forage. And then over here you can see where we are. So right now we've got 72,000 liters of TMR in there, and just churning away. So we're just going to let that run. Once it basically finishes out with the raw product that it has, we can top it off, and it just won't run until we take some product off. But ideally what we'll do is we'll try to keep about 150,000 liters of TMR in the machine. That way when we draw out some for our cattle, it will just basically make more to replenish itself, and then we'll just keep it full. One thing that I really wanted to show you guys in episode 16 was this little Pantera lawnmower. I had figured out how to do like a little time-lapse thing, and I was editing the video, and you know, the problems I ran into is for some reason the video was all choppy. It was jerky. It was like I was missing frames. It didn't look that way while I was actually playing the game. And it just, it just kind of started. It looked as if maybe it was something between the game and the OBS, which is the software that I use to record. So I've done some tests and made a couple changes in OBS. I'm not really sure why I would needed to have made these changes, because I didn't make any changes to the system. It was complaining that it wanted to do a graphics upgrade, driver upgrade, but I hadn't done it yet. So I went ahead and did that upgrade, and I was still, when I was doing recordings, it was as if I was losing frames between the computer and between the game and OBS. So I made a couple more tweaks, and the test recordings that I did seemed to come out fine. So we're just going to kind of have a second stab at this. We're just going to mow some grass around the yard. And the reason I want to mow this grass is really to try to sync up the grass that's here at the farm with the grass that's in the fields. So when this grass appears that it needs to be mowed, then I will know that the grass in the fields is ready, so I don't have to keep running around and checking that grass. Let's get this back up so I can see what's going on. So once we finish this little patch, I'm going to break in to a little time-lapse thing, and we're just going to go around and mow kind of at high speed some little sections of the yard. Okay. So I hope you all enjoy this this little high-speed montage of mowing. Okay guys, well that was fun. Let's get on with the program. So we're going to run down to our industrial facility because in the lost episode, that's what I'll refer to the former episode 16. In our lost episode, I had mentioned that we were going to get our greenhouses up and running soon, and I had basically off camera brought over several pallets of pallets and several pallets of cardboard over to the industrial facility, and I put some of those into the dairy, and we've got to put some cardboard pallets into our greenhouses, and then we're going to run over and pick up some manure from our cattle and some water and get those greenhouses up and running. That's pretty much the objective for this episode, is to get those greenhouses up and running. We've got to get that fruit so we can get our dairy up and running, and then once we get our dairy up and running, we will really be starting to roll in the dollars. So here we are, and off camera you'll see what we've done is we've put some pallets and cardboard up in here. Let's take a look. So you'll see that we've got 70% sugar, 20% of our cardboard, and 100% of our pallets are here. So we've got cardboard and sugar. It turns out that we're going to take about 10 pallets of sugar and 10 pallets of cardboard to fill this particular plant up. So we have 2 pallets of cardboard here. We're going to go ahead and put them in this greenhouse so that we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling with that. We're going to use our Toyota forklift. To put these in here. This forklift seems to work fairly well. Now I always do seem to get some graphic hits around these greenhouses. I think it might be the maybe the glass surface and maybe the reflections that it's doing. Let's get lined up on this a little better. Come at it from the other side, that way we're driving forward. Now I think, if I remember correctly, the greenhouses take 5,000 units of manure each, and maybe 5,000 units of water. We'll have to see. We're close to that. We're close to 10,000 units of manure, so we'll be good to go there, I think. Park this over here. Let's turn that off. We've got our sugar running, and let's check it for supplies while we're over here. So we have 83% sugar beets, 76% water, and 94% pallets. So we have plenty of raw materials in that one. And if we look at our greenhouse here, you'll see that we are at 100% on our cardboard and 100% on our pallets, so we're good to go with that. Now we do have some excess pallets here. We're going to go ahead and check our price. It's not really a good price, but we'll just go ahead and sell these pallets. just because we're a little low on cash. So we will just cheat and use our auto load function. And we'll take these down to the sawmill and sell these pallets, and then we'll run over to the cow area and pick up that manure. So I think I didn't ask this. I think I asked this in our lost episode. It's hard to remember right now, but the Big Bud Pack has been released. Those of you that bought it and have had time to play with the implements, what's your favorite implement? I'm interested to know what your favorite piece of equipment off of that Big Bud DLC is. Is it the tractor? Is it either of the tractors, or is it maybe, this is it? Let's see here. Or is it maybe like the seeder? I'm really looking forward to the seeder myself. The seeders that are available, and the manure spreader for a different game that we're going to be looking at some point. I'm looking forward to that manure spreader and those seeders, because I'd like to bring the seeders in on this map, but let me know what kind of implement you all want to see brought in from the Big Bud onto this map. I'm not looking to bring the Big Bud tractors in. I might bring the 450 in, but not the 747. I think that one's going to be way too big for this particular map. So just let me know what you all would like to see added as far as equipment goes off the DLC onto this map. So we're making a nice little penny off of these pallets. They were, what are they? They are basically $1,000 a 1,000 units, and there's 4,000 units per pallet of pallets. So I guess that's $16,000 we should be earning here. There you go. The wonders of math never fails. So again, that's not bad profit. All we had to do is basically wait. So we had time and some trees that we cut down, and there's our $16,000 of profit. We've got cardboard running. I'm keeping up with our various industries off camera. We don't need to basically on camera constantly go and check our cardboard and our pallet factories. So I'm doing all that off camera to make sure that they still are running and producing finished goods, because we'll need those finished goods for raw materials. Oh no, we didn't. For some reason I thought we passed the cow farm, but we hadn't yet. Just gonna park this. Just gonna park this right here. Turn it off. Okay. So you can see up in the upper. I don't know if you can see in the upper left corner. We have 101 cows now. We have already had a birth, so we are now up to 101 head. And of course, as we continue to play, that will increase. Just going to make a loop here and pull up underneath our conveyor system, which should basically auto load our tipper here with manure. There we go. So we'll just let that run. Let's just see how much manure we did have. So we had basically 10,000 units. There's Bessie just checking out, seeing what we're doing. How you doing there, Moo Moo? I didn't want to, I'm assuming that our, guess we better close this gate before this cow gets out. I'm assuming those greenhouses take 5,000 units of manure, so I didn't want to get too much. Looks like I did just get a little bit over 10,000 units of manure, so I'll have to just have to leave the tipper down there so I can dump the rest in there once it uses a little bit of manure up. So once we get this down here and in, we will we'll come back and we'll pick up our water tank and take that around, fill those up, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll hook up the plow and start plowing under some sugar beet, or not sugar beet, oilseed radish. I get for some reason I get sugar beets and our oilseed radish, which you see growing over there on the left. I constantly get them mixed up. So we'll probably pick up, once we have some more money, a little tipper that probably has a capacity of 10,000 units, so we don't accidentally overfill our tipper, and we don't need to leave a tipper full of manure down at the industrial plant. Nobody needs to be smelling a bunch of nasty old manure that's sitting in a tipper all day long. So next game day, we will probably be harvesting our winter wheat and winter barley. And we'll probably at that point start putting product in our pig food machine. Not so much because we're going to be getting pigs soon, but more or less just to go ahead and fill that up and have it ready, so that when we do decide that we're ready for pigs, we'll have. I think that one also has a capacity of 150,000 liters. That way we have plenty of pig food on hand once we decide that we do want to acquire pigs. Is when we got the cattle, it was pretty apparent that we didn't quite have the stockpile of grass we needed. I actually went around and mowed some grass. I mowed around a couple fields and a couple other areas just to get some more grass so that we could get our TMR machine back up and running. And then I dumped, I think we got about 80,000 units of grass in our farm silo, kind of as backup for now. Alrighty, let's pull in here. Let's try to get lined up a little bit better on this, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Oh, I was wrong. Our greenhouses take 10,000 units. For some reason I thought they took 5,000 units. So we'll get one greenhouse up and running today. I think it's shorter if we go this way. So this is one of the fields, one of the areas where I mowed some grass. Right here. I mowed this grass to get some grass up for our TMR machine. So I think this way is definitely faster. So I wonder if we take, I don't know if we take 10,000 units of water also. We'll have to see. Still, I'm wondering, I'm not really sure where I got 5,000 in that brain on that. On a personal map save of Lawfolds, I've got several greenhouses, and I was just using that little 15,000 unit tipper, and for some reason I thought I could get 3 greenhouses off of that, but I guess I was only getting 1.5. So, let's see how much manure we have in stock. No, there's no way we have that much manure. I guess we might as well just fill it up and see what we get. Yeah, that was not much there now, was it? Alright, well, we'll just leave that here. And off camera, I will come back and get that other greenhouse running. You can see our milk sell point there, or not sell point, but fill point. We will be using that to collect our milk for our dairy. So let's get this full of water before we run over there. How much milk do we have? Oh, 28,000. So instead of hooking up our plow, or our plow, we're going to run down and pick up our new dairy tanker, our milk tanker, and we're going to draw some milk out of here and take that down to the dairy, and that'll close us out. So today will be episode 16 is just kind of a montage of mowing and getting our greenhouses up and running, or should I say our greenhouse up and running. We'll get the other greenhouse up and running off camera, and then we'll be starting to rack in the raspberries and strawberries. So I know my son, who's 3, my real life son who's 3, he loves his berries, and he'll eat, I swear, he'll probably eat like 3 pounds of raspberries if you let him in one sitting. You know, the raspberries, they come in those little 6-ounce trays, and he'll easily eat a whole tray full of raspberries as a midday snack. He loves his fruit. He's been known to eat a whole tray of strawberries also in one sitting. So I guess that's better than eating a bag of chips in one sitting, but it can get a bit expensive. He also seems to have acquired an interesting taste for Greek yogurt. The doctor suggested the wife start eating some Greek yogurt, and the kid saw some Greek yogurt tubs in the fridge and wanted to try one. I was kind of skeptical that he would like it, but he had one and he said, "Oh, it's good. I like this." So he wanted another one. So I gave him a second one, and he ate about half of that one. And apparently he's eaten about 3/4 of the Greek yogurt that the wife's bought. You see our greenhouses are starting to populate there. Just Let's see if we can. I'm just trying to. No, our camera won't let us do that. So this greenhouse takes 6,000 units of water. Well, that's just about odd. So we'll just empty this water in here. And while this is filling, let's go look at this greenhouse. You see little raspberries growing on the vines already. It's pretty cool. And there we'll have pallets of these sitting off here once this is growing. So let's run back over here. This back to the cow area. We'll pick up our pickup truck, drive up over here and pick up our semi, and there's our milk tanker sitting at the shop waiting for us to pick it up. We bought that off screen a couple episodes ago. It was before we made our interest payment. That way I knew I had enough money for the things that I knew I needed here in this game day. Because I wasn't planning on selling too much crop. And we'll have to wait till probably mid-afternoon before we'll have enough fertilizer and fuel to do any selling of that. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough money to carry over if I hired any workers. So what kind of maps are you all do you all like? I'm trying to pick better maps for my map review series, my first impression series. And I'd be interested to know what kind of maps you all are interested in watching. Reviews of or first videos of. You know, do you like is this audience preferring American-based maps with, you know, bigger fields, more American style farms versus European farms? What about you know, small maps versus big maps? I guess we'll use this. What about European farms, small fields, big fields? Just give me a couple hints as to maybe the kind of maps that you all like to play on, because I want to make sure that I'm doing videos on maps that you all enjoy watching. We will be launching here soon a second play series on Northwest Texas, and that map that series I'll be dubbing our Big Boys and Big Toys map. Currently I am putting some final touches on the equipment on that map, but it will be mostly predominantly big equipment. I've got an interesting storyline already lined up. I'll be doing an intro video here in the next few days probably, where I'll kind of be introducing the storyline. We will definitely have the Big Buds 450 and 747 on this map. In addition, we've got the colossal Fendt Tri-6. I don't know if you've seen that mod, but that mod has it's a Fendt tractor that's got 3 axles, 6 wheels, or you could put doubles, so it could have 12 wheels, and it's got a whopping 1,200 horsepower. So it's right there with Big Bud 747 as far as power output. And we've got a massive, right now I've got a massive, I don't know how wide it is, but it's a massively wide plow that the Fendt is basically married to. That's pretty much all it's going to be used for, is pulling that big old plow. And I'm kind of interested to see if I could maybe rig up some type of pull-off between it and the 747 and just see, you know, maybe who would ultimately win in that. But I'm not really sure if I'll be able to pull it off. I'm kind of thinking of that new tow bar mod. Maybe somehow I could hook them both up and kind of get one off and running. So here's our milk tanker. This is actually a custom mod job by a member over at the PCSG forums. This particular tanker was a fuel tank, was a mod for a ethanol corn-based fuel tanker, and I tried to make it a milk tanker by changing the trigger to accept milk instead of fuel, but was unsuccessful. So I had put a post over at the PCSG website, and one of the members over there gladly took up that challenge and worked and got this thing running with respect to milk. I swapped out the ethanol logo with the fresh milk language there, and now we've got a nice stainless steel looking American style milk tank truck, not truck, but trailer to transport our milk. Swing on in here. We'll try to make a. That's what I was worried about. Didn't make a wide enough turn. Coming at this angle. There we go. So this tanker will hold 30,000 units of milk. So we're just going to fill up. So while this is filling, let's take a closer look at this thing. So what we did is, what I did after he got it working with milk, is you'll see the triangle placard there. It used to have a fuel placard on the front, and it used to have a fuel placard on the back. I basically went and grabbed a blank placard off the internet and stuck that on the texture file over top of the fuel. And then like I said, we had the fresh milk. I put that on there. It used to have a couple corn cobs, and it basically said something about you know, corn ethanol fuel. So we swapped that out. So there we are. Let's lower our third axle. Oh, it was low. Okay. It's like, let's use our third axle so we have the weight distribution. Let's jump in cab. And let's drive this down to the dairy. Wait for you to go by. Drive this down to the dairy, fill up our dairy with milk, and then once we get, then the only thing we'll be waiting on is fruit, and we should have some pallets of fruit here this afternoon, this game afternoon, because the fruit pallets, the greenhouses, they put out some fruit. I'll tell you, They don't take long to produce fruit. In fact, we should have some portion of the pallet already generated there by the time we get back. So we're just going to stay here on the field because I know that the field is smoother than that road. This car because he's going to go slow. And we'll get turned in here. So this is where the milk goes. Let's see if we can pull on up. And back on in here. Alright. It's not wanting to empty. So I will need to figure this out. Maybe off camera. Let's just reposition real quick. Oh, there we go. It would help if I picked the trailer and not the truck. All right, so let's jump out here. And we see our... it stopped. There we go. So I stopped that when I jumped out of the truck. It's counting up. So there we are. So as you see, the only thing we need now is fruit. And we'll make yogurt, sugar, condensed milk, and kefir, which is kind of a... it's not really sour. It's not really sour or cottage cheese, but it is a kind of a soured milk product, as I understand. The storyline goes that we'll be exporting the kefir because that is not an American. It's not a food that I've seen in the U.S. So there you see, we've got 2 of our cartons of raspberries already. So we'll just let that roll. So with that, I'm going to conclude here. Thanks for watching. Please check out some of the guys down in my description. Check out their web channels. Check out the PCSG website. Like I said, there's some great folks out there. There's some great modders out there that are looking to help you out if you got questions. They're also ready to they've got a review crew where they rate and review mods. Overall, they're just a really great bunch of guys and gals over there. Then also ask you to check out the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. I'm a 3 Dudes Gaming media member, or a media partner, as well are most of the guys down in the description below, their YouTube channels. So I encourage you to check those out. I will be trying to post weekly video exclusives over at the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. So only 3 Dudes Gaming members will have access to those exclusive videos until they release on their normal schedule. So that's kind of maybe an incentive to check that out if you would like to watch a video maybe before its normal release schedule. Let's see if we can swing out wide enough this time to get in here without getting hung up. Hey, look at that. So, until next time, guys, happy farming. See y'all later.